Hey guys, this is William with another video for Play-agricola.com's YouTube channel and twitch.tv/play_agricola. Playing an EIKWM France Deck G4564 with Field Watchman, JJ, and Bigfoot. And it looks like we're draft 10. Okay, so quality of the cards should be very high, so when I see Child Psychologist, I'm pretty sure I'm taking Child Psychologist because odds are I'm going to get 7 playable occupations. Ram Wrangler. Whenever you breed a sheep, you get a grain afterwards. That looks pretty good. And I think Tarzan is pretty good, and I think Hut Builder is a good card. I think we're hoping Tarzan comes back. That would be probably best case scenario. Go for a whole bunch of food early. Tarzan, get a cooking hearth. But yeah, first pick Child Psychologist, I think. This card is really good, and even better when there are more occupations in the draft. Okay, next. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. This pile. Um, we've got Morning Trader, we've got Charcoal Burner. Excuse me. Um, what does Animal Nurse do? Gets you more animals, okay. Yeah, so it's Morning Trader or Charcoal Burner. Both are excellent cards. Yeah. Is Morning Trader better than Charcoal Burner? I'm not sure. I think what we have to what I the problem Morning Trader has is that they have trouble getting on the occupation space, which Child Psychologist certainly makes up for. I mean, Charcoal Burner is a great card. Both want to be played in round 1 ideally. I think Morning Trader supports Child Psychologist a little better. Any occupations that let me convert grain into points or grain into food become really exceptional with Morning Trader. Charcoal Burner is a good card, and if Child Psychologists let me play anything that played majors, like baking improvements, that would be good as well. But I mean, I think with Morning Trader will benefit from those cards more than Charcoal Burner will. I think Photographer is pretty reasonable, but I'm pretty sure the pick here is Baker's Servant with Child Psychologist in hand. Then I'm just looking at doing a bunch of baked bread actions, and I don't really have to worry about anything else. Baker's Servant is a really great card. Hey Gray, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was a totally crazy pack. And I get Baker here too. So I mean, this looks like a pretty clear path for me. Baker, child psychologist, morning trader, Baker servant. Yeah, pretty strong. I should consider vineyard labor, uh, but I think it's just so clearly Baker. It's really not close. So when I set up my combo, let's say I set it up for the third harvest. That's one, two, three, 4 fields. Also, when I play Baker, I can bake, so it could be 5 fields. Like, it can just be really silly. And the thing is, Morning Trader is good at getting me multiple grain, which is something Baker. You want to have multiple grain with Baker. Pretty sure this pick is Tarzan with Baker, Morning Trader. I should be able to pretty reliably, like even if it's only in the last 3 harvests, achieve that. And if I can use it to get like 2 cattle and then a sheep or something like that, that looks pretty good. So I can play Morning Trader early, or I could hold off on it to play with Child Psychologist. Both are options. I'm not sure which will be the better option, honestly. It'll depend on when family growth is coming and how that is looking. Because if Child Psychologist can play Morning Trader and Baker, like then I only need to Morning Trade once in round 7, get the grain. Like if say I played Morning Trader on family growth round 5, then I could Morning Trade round 6, round 7, get 2 grain. Then when I play Baker in round 7, I get the bake action there, and then I get another bake action. So then that's all my food, and my feeding is in a great spot. And then I can afford to play Baker's Servant in round 9, and then bake each harvest for the rest of the way. Yeah, this is quite a strong opening 4 cards. Just the synergy is extremely high. Maruska says, I would play Morning Trader early before the Psychologist, and Gray says, I think playing it early is almost certainly better. The early rounds are the best time to trade before Psychologist. Yeah, usually I agree, especially if I don't have any interest in the occupation spaces in round 2 and 3, then Morning Trade and those actions can end up being pretty good. But we'll see. It'll depend on what minor improvements I see. It'll depend on when family growth is coming out. It'll depend on who is likely to grow early. So we'll see how that happens. Scott says you ideally want to play an oven before starting Psychology. Yeah, the thing is about Morning Traders, you usually end up with like a pretty junk 3 food action or like a 2 food action. So you can get the food before you play Child Psychology. But yes, definitely if I'm going to play, like if I want to play say these 4 occupations before the round 7 harvest, then definitely that will take a good amount of food, 6 or 7 food. And so then I would want to, I would definitely need plus my 4 at each harvest. So you're looking at 11 or 15 food, or 14 or 15 food, which is quite a bit. So yeah, I know I need to get bakes in. It's a question of when. So we'll have to figure out the timing, and that will depend on what other occupations I get as well as what minor improvements I see. So okay, there's a couple different ways I can take this. A card like Mountain Plowman, when I know I'm going to be plowing a bunch of fields, a card like Mountain Plowman will give me like a good payoff. A card like Cheapskate, the nice thing about Cheapskate is it lets me play a minor improvement with Child Psychologist, so it lets me play a minor improvement outside of turn order. So like if I got something like Animal Pen, of course, Cheapskate really likes that. Or if I got, say, like a minor improvement oven, that I was talking about why cards that let me bake grain as being really good. If I got a minor improvement oven, Cheapskate would just be absolutely fantastic. Animal Nurse, it's another late game card that gets me animals. Like pretty much Mountain Plowman, Animal Nurse, Tarzan are all fulfilling the same function. So I think what I do is I swing for the upside with Cheapskate and hope to get like if I got something like Simple Oven, that would just be absolutely amazing. And this one I'm going to take Layabout. Just as like this is also insurance. If Family Growth comes around 7, I can't get my combo going, I could play Layabout and skip that harvest. Well, we've got Stonehouse Extension, so I regret not taking the Pasture a little bit. Bonus room, 2 animals, a pasture planted field. Nah, it's too much work. 5 wood for one of each type of animal. That's playable. Runestone. Runestone is pretty playable, especially if I know I'm gonna get stuff out. Fruit like Iron Plow, anything that saves you on sow actions is nice. However, the plows are a little less valuable with Baker's Servant and Baker in hand. Fruitcake, of course, with Morning Trader, it's worth a bunch of food. I think probably the best card here is actually just Duck Pond for me. I think it's between Duck Pond and Runestone. And I'm going to take Duck Pond. Duck Pond, the timing on Duck Pond, the 3 food will probably end up being extremely nice. I mean, there is like this Stonehouse Extension, there's this bonus room, there's some weird stuff I can do, for sure. I think though, card like Duck Pond, it gives me exactly the amount of food that I want. If I play Morning Trader and Child Psychologist, then a Duck Pond can be played for 3 food. Well, there are some definitely some sheep payoff cards in this game, and there were a bunch of sheep payoff cards in the draft. So I'm really regretting not having taken Mountain Plowman, because a card like Loom with Mountain Plowman is excellent. I can do something like Whistle, but I think Loom is what I want to have. Like passing Carpet is a little sad, but I think Loom is actually better than Carpet because I can play Loom earlier and it gives bonus points. Using Unblockable Family Growth is obviously really good, but I think I probably should be able to get to 4 rooms, in which case the Carpet is not as valuable. There's also Backdoor in the same pile, which is, if it gets played, will make the Family Growth queue a lot easier as well. I think Loom is the pick. And then I see Whale Oil. Whale Oil is awesome, especially when you're able to play occupations late. And I think I'm taking Whale Oil. And it's going to be hard. Like Punter, sure. Punter, when there are plows in the game, is great. But Whale Oil, the ability to Whale Oil, and even if I only put 2 food on it, to set up free Child Psychologist occupations is just going to be ridiculously good. Yeah. Grace says, I'm not a big fan of Cheapskate with Psychologist. Yeah, certainly it does neuter the positive aspects somewhat. But then I think we see a card like Bronze Oven, and I feel pretty vindicated because Bronze Oven is a card that I can play out of turn with Cheapskate, and yeah, it can be pretty good. Boar Trap, yeah. If I'm gonna morning trade a bunch, then buffing up the grain space can be really nice. Um, Fruit Tart, whenever you go on grain or vegetable, you can bake. So I mean, more bakes with Baker's Servant is good. I'm pretty sure though, Bronze Oven just does exactly what I want it to do. Marscott says that was a good opportunity for bread seller. Bread seller, like one of the worst occupations ever printed. Okay, so I mean, I was considering taking Runestone a lot earlier than this, and I think I expected Fruitcake to come back, and I think Fruitcake is really nice, but I think I gotta take Runestone here. Just the power that you get out of it, like extra harvesting is great, so you can resow onto your fields, as well as extra breeding phases, really excellent. My occupations are a little expensive, but fortunately I have pretty excellent ways of getting out of being fourth in round one. I actually don't mind at all. Like 3 wood into whale oil is totally fine. I think probably my dream. What's my dream opening? It's probably Morning Trader 2 wood, then round 2 take a grain, play whale oil, take 2 food fishing, and then round 4 again take a grain, take 2 food, and then play child psychologist, something like that. And then round 3 can be like reedstone food or 2 reed or whatever. I think my that's my dream start is playing Morning Trader and then getting wood to play whale oil with. So I won't hold on whale oil for Morning Trader unless I have to. I would rather just get it out and played so I can start accumulating grain. The other thing is like 2 food fishing is pretty undesirable for all my opponents. So if I'm the only one that really likes it, then that works and is good. Um, Dairy Supply is interesting, especially with a card like Tarzan. Makes it easier for me to get animals. I have a couple stone cost miners, so if I think I'm gonna need to spend a lot of stone, then a card like Mountain Cave gets a bit better. I think though, considering the fact that I have Loom in hand, a card like Whistle is worth playing. Getting passive sheep income with Loom. I think I should be going for at least 3 points out of Loom. So 1 point on the card plus 2 bonus points. So looking at 6 sheet minimum. It should be doable. With Whistle, Runestone, it should be doable. The only question will be how much wood is that going to cost me. But the great thing will be, I don't mind, I'm going to be able to use all my actions on taking resources and building rooms, because once I get my plowing engine up and my feeding engine up, like my actions are going to be free to do whatever I want. So this is actually the kind of game where it might be worth it to take the clay resources and build a clay room in round 13 or 12. Like I often find that that's not worth it because usually you get better value out of building up your farm, like plowing, sowing, fencing. But this might be the kind of game where I've saved enough actions with Baker, Servant, Baker, Child Psychologist, Morning Trader that I might be able to, at the end of the game, dump a lot of actions into just making a bigger house, bigger family, because that's where the best points are. This boundary stones is pretty interesting. Trip to the lake is fine. The problem is a read cost and like when am I gonna play it? It's kind of awkward. I mean, with a card like Whale Oil, I don't mind doing. Don't mind doing like bad fishing actions, but that doesn't mean I want to do it so many times that I would get benefit out of trips to the lake. I think a card like Boundary Stones is so much better because you have to remember Trip to the Lake. I have to play it, so if I'm going to use it and Whale Oil, I have to play both of them, which means I need food, wood, and read already, and 2 minor improvement actions. That's a lot. That's a lot. So that means probably my first Whale Oil is not getting Trip to the Lake. So then how many times am I going to actually take up fishing after I've played it? So that's probably maybe 2 at most. So a read for 2 food and 2 wood. It's okay, but if it's delayed, if it was immediate, that'd be one thing, but it's delayed, so I think it's not good. And a card like Boundary Stones, like I could really get out of hand here and go for a max point Boundary Stones game. I talked about it last game with Nathan about how I think you can lay out your farm to do a cool max Boundary Stone game, and considering the fact that I could maybe do some silly stuff here. Where is that? If I open up Paint. So this is how I think you can lay out your farm for... Oh no, never mind. This is not Boundary Stones. Boundary Stones would have fields here, and then 5 rooms, and then stable here, and then stable with pasture here. So you don't have that much room for animals, but you have a lot of points from your fields. And especially if the points from fields are not going to cost me that much. Gray says, don't you want to hold a lot of animals though? I do, but maybe what I find is getting to a 5-room stone house is going to be easier than getting to a lot of animals. In which case, that's the kind of layout I could do to get a big stone house. Alright. Oh, it did the dragging thing, which always slows me down. So morning trader to start us off, and it's unlikely we're going to get 2 wood back, so what am I looking at? I guess I could just plow, but plowing is kind of sad. I'm not sure. It will be... It's to be determined. Probably day labor is even better than plowing. Because my plowing should come like so easily once Baker's Servant is up. So the one issue with Bronze Oven, whenever I bake, other players can also bake. So if I play Bronze Oven Baker, I'm essentially opening that up to the whole game. So like Field Watchman, who's played Storehouse Trader and or Storehouse Keeper, and is very likely to build a clay or stone oven themselves and because they get grain early on pretty easily. That can be scary. If I just give him easy access to the bake actions. So I'll just have to be mindful of that. Oh, this really sucks. This is a rough start. I think I actually take 1 wood. It's really brutal, but I think I take 1 wood. Yep, I agree, Gray. And it feels awful, but... So this means that if I morning trade, I actually have the last 2 actions of the round. So then I could definitely look at something like Start Player, Whale Oil, and Fishing. You're right, it does feel awful. Feels really awful. Taking 1 wood. 1 wood state round 1. Oof. That is a spicy meatball. got Well Builder here for Bigfoot. So maybe it's good that I took Stone Miners, because if these guys are going to build the majors pretty quick, like Well Builder, Stone Oven, Storehouse Keeper likes Clay Oven and Stone Oven, Well Builder obviously going for the well. So then if I can play other stuff, that's kind of cool. We also should see that JJ, it's only his third action, already has a room available. Pretty good. So this is the odd game where probably 3 wood was better for me than occupation in round 1, which is not very common. There are not too many miners that exist that you want to play in round 1 so much that you'd rather 3 wood instead of occupation. Because occupations are good. Oh, of course I passed Charcoal Burner. That's right. So what are we thinking that Bigfoot has? Bigfoot played Well Builder, so maybe we're looking at Braggart for Bigfoot. Wants to play a couple major improvements. Might be something like that. So we're going to start player Whale Oil and then Fish. And again, we're taking a grain. Yeah, we have to be afraid of Field Watchmen. Grace says, I would have considered taking Reedstone Food there to fight for Clay Oven. I don't think I'm winning the rush for Clay Oven. I think the value of my game is going to be from how everything I'm going to play is not going to cost a lot of moves and actions. Rent Keeper. So we're probably going to see JJ build a room with their second action. So yeah, 4 clay, 3 wood, occupation. Humble Farm Boy for Bigfoot. So if he does have Braggart, it's kind of antithetical to his occupation so far. 4 clay is nice. I can probably get 4 clay next round as well. It might even come back around. It's more likely to come back than 3 wood. Yeah, like Field Watchman, it's the 6th action of the game, and Field Watchman has built the Clay Oven already. So I'm not. That happens. He's got Storehouse Keeper. He's got Charcoal Burner. That's gonna happen. I would hope. Yeah. What's sad now is I have to be careful how much I field. My Bronze Oven can feed Field Watchman a lot. A lot. If I use Bronze Oven to bake. So I just have to remember that. He can just go on the Reedstone Food action and get 5 food as well. So it's like actually a 6 food reed and a stone action, which is incredibly strong. And Bigfoot building the well, no surprise. So probably I'm taking 4 clay here. So I have a bit of a choice here. Am I playing 2 reed? 2 reed to go for a room, or Reedstone Food, or am I just morning trading again? I think there's a bunch of good actions, so I think Yes, I think when I want to take resources, I should not be morning trading. And I think 4 wood, 2 reed is pretty good. I think I should morning trade next round. Morning trade, fishing, child psychologist. That'll be my 3 actions round 5. But I should be taking 4 wood, 2 reed when it's available. And there's the hut builder, which I passed. So yeah, field watchman, pretty strong start to the game, to put it mildly. Now all he really wants is a 4 wood action. And even if he doesn't get a 4 wood action, if someone builds like the fireplace or anything, that gets him what he needs as well. So yeah, pretty strong. I would imagine, since Bigfoot's a start player, that probably build a room is a good option. But it's hard to say. What do you do? 3 wood? Okay. So yeah, we'll take 2 reed, and now we're in a position to family growth when it to build a room when it comes up. And since JJ is first, we should be in a good spot to hold our third on the family growth in the family growth queue. Star player Goose Pond here. Sure. Gets him a 4 wood action, which is pretty strong. Wonder if backdoor will come into play. The fence deliveryman for JJ. This is a good card. Alright, let's see it. What's the round 5 card? Reno. Okay. So Field Watchman 4 wood. So I think this is me morning trade into 3 food fishing into occupation. And I need to feed 4. Yeah, we're not missing out on any great actions, so I think this is fine. Would we be happy? We would probably be pretty happy seeing family growth come in around 7, just because the efficiency of our actions will be so high. Now, having said that, we've got cards like Rent Keeper, which doesn't mind round 7 family growth so much. And of course, the power of Hut Builder probably gets even higher in a round 7 game, family growth game. So, yeah. Wood Carver for Field Watchman. Sure. So I could play Cheapskate here if I really wanted to get Duck Pond out. But I think the power of Cheapskate playing Bronze Oven to bake after Baker's Servant is in play is pretty high, so. And if I can hold it until after Field Watchman has had to commit to his bakes in like round 7, round 9, whenever that is, if I can hold on to that, that would be really nice. Read Cheapskate has to be my third occupation. If this is your third occupation. Oh, right. Right. I think it could still come before Baker's Servant. You lose out a little bit, but I think it's probably still okay. Yeah. JJ's probably thinking about start player with Rent Keeper. I wouldn't mind forcing Bigfoot to take it. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. And we've got Bigfoot. Here's the Wishing Fountain Well Builder combo. Alright. I don't actually think the effect of Wishing Fountain is all that strong, but the ability to rebuild by the well when it's as cheap as it is for him, that is extremely strong. So we're going to grab 3 food fishing, increase our oven, or increase our whale oil. Net plus a food. Probably want to play Layabout this harvest anyways. It won't be useful and it's free to play with fish oil. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. And the thing about Layabout is it doesn't work with Baker. It prevents me from using Baker, Tarzan, Whistle, all that stuff. So yeah, that's a good point. I like that idea. And then yeah, I'm playing with something like Duck Pond. I like that. Cheapskate Duck Pond layout. I like that. And it's actually net plus 1 food too, because Cheapskate only has to pay 1 food for the second occupation. Well, this is cool. So family growth is round 7. So that means we actually can grow second, which is really, really nice. What are the odds we get stable blocked? So if I don't build a room here, if I take 6 wood, what are the odds that Field Watchman immediately builds a room? I think what'll happen is he will go for the 4 wood. Now these 2 players are both in a position to stable block me if I do that, especially with Wood Carver. He doesn't mind doing it so much. But I think 6 wood is good enough that it's worth risking that play. Yeah, Wishing Fountain. Yeah, so Wishing Fountain lets Bigfoot rebuy the well with because he bought a thing. So I wouldn't. Yeah, that happens. Well, hopefully I can get to go second. JJ renovating and building the fireplace. Okay. Wonder if JJ took like Stonehouse Extension, because a card like Rent Keeper makes playing Stonehouse Extension actually pretty nice, because you pay 3 stone and a reed, but then Rent Keeper, if it's a stone room, you get 2 building resources and a food back, which is pretty cool. Even if it's like so yeah, you would only pay net like 2 stone for a stone room, which is pretty cool. So yeah, we're in a bit of a tough spot here. Definitely would have liked to have gotten on the build room space here. Let's go for reedstone food, I think. Yeah. Start getting stone. Maybe thinking about building 2 rooms at once. General Crick says, nice for Bigfoot to get such amazing improvements here. Considering that he has to grow round 7, and he had to start player a bunch. The fact that he built the well twice and Wishing Fountain once ends up being pretty strong. Yeah. Field Watchman with Photographer. Yeah, this can be a pretty nice 5-point card. You just have to play it early. It's 3-point minimum. Now, a 3-point minimum card that you have to play early before you get your first family growth is not that strong, but it can do some work later. Alright, so JJ doesn't mind stable blocking me, and Field Watchman can stable block me as well, and he's got cheaper Woodcarver. So this is pretty bad. So do I have to first action build a room? If I first action build a room, then 100% Field Watchman just start players, and then JJ start players, and then Bigfoot might even build again ahead of me. Or what we do is we first action 3 read and look at double building, see if we can be a bit greedy. If we can take 3 read, then that would be and then build with our second action. I think that's better. I don't think I can jump. Bonfire threatens the sheep. Threatens the sheep for JJ, but it doesn't stop Field Watchman from stable blocking. So we're going to cheapskate. We're going to play Duck Pond. And we're going to play Layabout, and it's net plus a food. All right. His feeding is fine. I'm pretty sure he's going to stable block because it only costs him one wood. So yeah, I think we take the 3 read here and look at building 2 rooms at once. I'm not worried about JJ blocking me. I'm worried more about Field Watchman blocking me. And I think there's a chance that Bigfoot might have taken the read. So yeah, this is unfortunate. Unfortunate. The family growth is going to be contested for the whole game. But I think I've set up a pretty nice farm. I have very good resources. So I could reedstone food, get my second stone for the oven. I think though I want to grab 3 stone in round 8. I think I should be able to get that. So I think 3 wood here is okay. 3 wood gives me the option to build 3 rooms. The problem with 3 rooms is I can't stable and also whistle. So it would set me back a bit, but Yeah, family growth is going to be extremely contested for the entire game, which sucks. 3 wood or 2 rooms? If I don't build rooms here, then JJ can build room instead of start player next round. So I think I need to build rooms. Whoops. Throw my stable over here. I will still consider doing a max. I can do maybe 7 fields or just 5 fields, like in a cross for boundary stones. The nice thing is I do have a really huge amount of food, and Tarzan definitely wants me to have a huge amount of food. We got frame builder. So he can now build 1 clay, 1 wood, 2 reed rooms, which is pretty cheap. Yeah, and we've got, Bigfoot grabbing reed here. That tells me that Bigfoot's thinking about, well, actually, it might just be for Renault, but he might be thinking about growing again. Oh, sorry, Auk. Play Baker's Servant. Oh, JJ is letting me jump. Yeah. Well, I will definitely take it. But that's a little unusual. Wonder if he thinks I want a morning trade? I'm not sure. Maybe valuing the income, passive income from Rentkeeper really highly, maybe a little too highly. I guess with Humble Farm Boy in hand, you want to avoid growing if you can. 3 stone is gone, but this is pretty good compensation, I have to say. Start player whistle. Oh, maybe his back. If he had backdoor, he would have played it already. Maybe thinking about growing twice in a row with backdoor? I'm not sure. So ideally, I would wait for Bronze Oven until after Field Watchman has plowed his 2 fields and put down his 2 grain, because I don't want to give him the option for a free plow. So if I could play it in... Thing is, I can't even play it in round 9 because I'm the one that's going to film... Oh, no, I can play Bronze Oven. I was thinking of Baker. I can play Bronze Oven round 9. That's an option. And I think I will. I want to start getting my fields going. The second action, what are we looking for with our second action? JJ, 2 wood, 2 clay, 4 reed for 2 rooms. Yep. I was right about him wanting to build more rooms. If I were him, well, I guess he has to start player next round anyways to grow ahead of me. Yeah, because I have 2 rooms, so yeah, blocking build room next round isn't even enough. What he wants is like Animal Tamer's Apprentice or something. That would be fun. Yeah, I don't have the stone for. That's right. I don't have the stone for this card for Bronze Oven at the moment. Well, I'm pretty sure the best action is 4 wood by quite a bit, so we'll take that. We could think about maybe playing the loom. Whistle is the end of the breeding phase, right? Or beginning of the breeding phase, but I think loom pays out earlier than that. We've got Guildmaster for Bigfoot. Yeah, I wonder if Bigfoot maybe has Braggart, because there was also. Did we see the card that says if you build the joinery, you get an extra 2 wood or 2 wood whenever you take wood? I think that card is out there. Also, I forgot to pick up my food for Duck Pond, so I will do that now. And I will play the loom. Sculptor's Son, that's it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about, Gray. So if I play Baker in round 11, and then I bake each harvest, that's 4 fields right there, and then I could do one so bake action for 5 fields. So I could do 5 fields in a kind of a cross like this for a 3-point boundary stone, and then fence around the outside. So like 6 here, and then 3, and then so like 13. 3 pastures, 14 for a 4th pasture, or something like that. I will need a bunch of wood, but wood, my opponents want wood as well, so hard to say. Wood carver, charcoal burner, humble farm boy, fence deliveryman, all putting wood in the game, so. So if 4 wood comes back, I will take 4 wood. I want to take stone at some point. I don't need any more reed. I have enough reed for my 2 renos. Probably need to take clay. How greedy do I want to be? Do I want to try to hope that the clay goes to... If I could get 5 clay next round? I guess the other thing is JJ is going to let me grow again. I could start player boundary stones and then family growth nothing. Yeah, I could take start player here for sure. I think I will do it. Because you know what? With Field Watchman having his room coming round 11, family growth is going to be contested the whole way. So let's do it. Then I feed 5. This means Baker probably comes later than it... Yeah. Baker comes 1 round later. Or 1 stage later. 1 harvest later. Because probably I want to play Tarzan in round 11. And then Baker in round 12 or 13. Actually, how's my food going to shake out? Maybe I need Baker out before then. I guess it's going to be difficult for me to have the 6 food extra for Tarzan if I don't play Baker first. So yeah, Baker round 11 when Field Watchman family growth, because I imagine Field Watchman will start player to grab family growth. want to morning trade a vegetable at some point. If Runestone's going to come out, it wants to come out by the end of round 12. Yeah, at the end of round 12. It definitely won't come out round 10. Bonus room was in the draft as well. Yeah, and if you have bonus room, you would value a card like Iron Plow quite highly for sure. But then I also look at like the fenced deliveryman with a fenced pasture already, so yeah. There's the Sculptor's Son for Bigfoot, yeah. Yeah, I bet Bigfoot has Braggart. That's my assumption. No improvement. Yeah, so unfortunately my bronze oven is going to give Field Watchman the opportunity to bake as well. And he already has a bunch of clay out, so that's quite strong that he's getting that bonus. So I can definitely think about maybe trying to build a stone oven. Problem is, if I go for stone oven, then it's an extra stone, so then runestone is not getting played. But I mean, runestone might not even be worth anything at that point, anyways. So I forgot to whistle the sheep. Yeah, so now Loom is giving me 1 food per harvest. But I can whistle once more, and then by the end of round 13 I should have fences out so that I can keep whistling. I should maybe have put my stable over here, because then if I do fences over here, the stable still is worth a point for using a space, but also it's unfenced, so the whistle keeps having an effect. So maybe didn't lay out my farm ideally. So I'll take one of the clay actions. I need clay, so I can definitely think about 2 stone here, but I could also fish. Fish gets me another 7 food, because it's another extra food on Baker and Tarzan. If I don't get 3 stone and I pass on 2 stone here, that'll be really sad. The question is, am I gonna try to morning trade vegetable in the next round? Should I? I could also just reno cooking hearth, and if I cooking hearth, then I could bake the 1 grain with cooking hearth, and then I don't play bronze oven. That's an option. Now, baking grain into 3 food as opposed to 5 food or 6 food is obviously less food, but not sure what the right sequence is here. If I'm Field Watchman, I'm definitely thinking about 5 clay into Reno, because if you can Reno before you get that free room, it's nice. Yeah. Yep. I guess the other thing I can remember is Tarzan is going to get me food, and I probably will have access to more animals than I have space to hold them. So then a cooking hearth is more valuable for that, and the fact that I would be baking with the cooking hearth is also not as punishing. But still, 5 food fishing, which is 7 food, is not a bad action. But like there'll be like there'll be 3 boar available next round, which is 9 food for someone with a cooking hearth. I could also reno and build a clay room. That's still an option. It would probably be pretty difficult to get the stone, especially if I tried to play rune stone or bronze oven or stone oven. Oh, this is a hard one. Gray says, if I reno cooking hearth here, I can baker on Watchman's growth. Yeah, so I think definitely I'm bakering on Watchman's family growth. Although I could still Tarzan if I want to take 5 food fishing. I could take Tarzan, and you know what? Reno's gone, so I think I'm taking Tarzan either way, or I think I'm taking fishing either way. Yeah, so it's 1 fewer baker field, which is 1 fewer baker servant field, but I think we can still make this work. I don't have room for an animal anyways right now. Not if I'm gonna whistle. That's true. But I mean, I can always take a cattle and eat it, and it's more net plus food. And I don't have a way to bake right now, so I think playing baker is not good. Because the bake action that I lose in this harvest, I make up for actually using the baker in round 12 or round 13. So I think it's okay. Yeah. I think I will morning trade vegetable here. Losing out on 3 stone is sad, but I probably will get 2 stones, so. Net plus 1 food. If I take stone and start player oven here, Watchman is out of grain, which is nice. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Certainly, if I can get 2 field sown in this round, that would be really good because of then Runestone would become a great start player action in round 12. Or even a Reno action, like Reno Runestone would end up being pretty nice. So I think morning trading the vegetable is okay. Gray says trading grain might be better than vegetable to set up for lots of baking long term. I think there's a pretty reasonable chance that I'm going to sow vegetable here, or sow grain and I'm going to get that first vegetable. I might morning trade grain again, but I think I definitely want to go for that first vegetable. I need a lot of wood, and so morning trader to pass on 3 wood is sad, but I wasn't getting 3 wood anyways because it wasn't an option. So 2 wood. I have enough actions that I can take 2 wood. It's not a great move, but I am able to do it. The field watchman might decide to sow his grain here. Well, I don't think so. It's a pretty weak move. Ram Wrangler. So whenever you breed a sheep, you get a grain for JJ. Well, I'm definitely taking the stone with my first action. Yeah, if I can 3 stone, stone oven, sow bake, or 3 stone, bronze oven, sow bake, I think that would actually be quite good. Yeah. see if we can make that work. Gray saying, I'm saying sowing 2 grain might be better than sowing grain vegetable. Yes, except for the case where I play runestone. I think if I get the runestone out, then sowing the vegetable is better. If I'm not getting runestone out, then I think sowing the 2 grain makes sense because I want 2 bakes this round. But if I am gonna play runestone, that means I'm gonna have 2 grain in my supply in round 13, so I can bake one of them and resow one of them, and then I will also have 2 vegetables, and then I can very easily max my vegetable points from there. So. Sometimes I wonder if Field Watchman listens to me. I mean, Reedstone. I should. That's not fair. Okay, that's not fair. Reedstone Food Grain is probably the best action available to him, but yeah, getting a grain so that it benefits then he can bake it when I play Bronze Oven. Ooh, yeah. I have a couple actions in a row, which is nice. So I can definitely do some planning here. Like, for example, do I want a Bronze Oven or Bronze Oven on Reno instead of Start Player? I think Start Player is probably good because Plow Sow will be a good action for me, and Family Growth will be a good action for me as well. Yeah. I could still Cooking Hearth instead of Cooking Hearth into Runestone. So like if I renoed Cooking Hearth, then I could sow, bake a grain, then I could sow, bake a grain, sow a grain, and then I could Start Player Runestone. And then round 12, if it's Plow Sow, or do I take wood here? I think JJ doesn't want too much more wood, considering the fact that his last 4 fences come from his fence delivery men. Field Watchman definitely wants wood. Yeah. Me playing the Bronze Oven is a huge boon to Field Watchman. That's a point in favor of not taking it. Also, if I build the Cooking Hearth, then I can afford to I get something out of Tarzan, which I won't get anything out of Tarzan right now. Okay. So first, Reno Cooking Hearth. Then I will sow, bake a grain. So 1 grain into 1, 2, 3 food, and then field and sow a grain. Oh, did I not announce Cooking Hearth? I should. And then sow, bake, and then last action is Start Player Runestone. And then I harvest. I feed 8 plus a sheep. And I get a food from Loom, sorry. So Loom F H 5 food to feed, then plus H whistle, and plus a Tarzan. I think that looks right. Yep. And then let's see what the new round is. And it's Family Growth. So we'll grab Family Growth. So definitely will sow bake this round so that I can get another trigger out of my runestone. So sow, bake a grain, sow a vegetable, and then harvest two things with runestone. The breeding phase will be irrelevant, unfortunately, but that happens. We might see Bigfoot start player. If he's got Braggart in hand, he hopefully has some more miners to play. He's not getting Humble Farm Boy, not when JJ has. Although JJ hasn't. JJ still has not family growth yet. That's pretty crazy. I wonder if he's got Iron Plow or something. If he has Iron Plow, then I think awesome, because then he'll get all four of his fields with one action. But I don't know. What he really wants to do is he wants to get to a stone house so he can start getting 2 building resources per round. But I mean, he can collect a stone. He can collect a stone each round, anyways, and Reno in round 14 once he's gotten to 5. That's an option for him. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I can Baker here as well. And Baker gets me an extra field to sow on to collect off of runestone with. Perfect. Yep. So he's playing backdoor, which means he's family growthing, and Bigfoot's not going to sow, so that means I can get an extra field out here. Yeah, backdoor is fun. Backdoor is a really funny card. It went unplayed for so long. And recently, like in the last year, it's had a huge uptick in its usage. So I announced Baker, net +1 food, and then bake 1, 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know what? I don't have enough grain anymore to bake and sow. Well, I do, but I can't sow the extra thing is the problem. I think it's okay. I'll still do it. When is Baker? Baker's start of the feeding phase, right? Yeah, so that means I can harvest and then bake still. 1, and sow. 1, 2, 3. So hopefully good wood action comes back. Well, certainly one of the wood actions will come back, but the question is Field Watchman taking 4 wood here? Might take 4 wood here. Might start player. So I'll do 3 wood, and then maybe 3 wood twice, maybe 3 wood, 3 stone. Yeah, I didn't get quite enough grain this game. I need 1 more grain. If I could have sown a grain there, that would have been a lot better. I can always not bake in the round 13 harvest. Or I could take a grain. I could morning trade a grain. Although at this point, it's probably better to 4th action take a grain than to morning trade a grain. Or 4th action plow. If plow is going to come all the way back, which probably won't happen with JJ and Bigfoot now having more actions to plow with, but Bigfoot plays Occupation Debutante. Lets him get on family growth even without room. So that means he's not taking start player. So the only person who's likely to take start player from me is Field Watchman. Well, the only person capable at this point of taking start player. We might see Field Watchman Reno is the other thing we might do. No, he took wood. Alright. Looking at holding some animals probably. So I think 3 stone for me. It's enough stone to get to my stone house, and I want to have access to Reno fence in the last round. And then Runestone activates. Oh, you know, I can sow here without... You know what, if Plow Sow comes to me, if Field Watchman doesn't start player, Plow Sow is actually amazing for me. Wow, awesome. Well, I get Plow Sow for no work, which is pretty good. So I actually only need to bake one more time to get to my 5 fields for my boundary stones. So that was incredibly fortunate. Now Field Watchman gets 3 boar and maybe even 4 sheep as compensation, but yeah, very fortunate for me. So next action, 3 wood. 3 wood and then fencing maybe. Start making space to hold breeding pairs so that Tarzan can't get me a breeding cattle, but actually Whistle can't either. But having an extra space to hold the animal from Whistle and Tarzan would be nice, for sure. It's Tarzan's end of the breeding phase, right? Yeah. How many more bake actions could I potentially have? I could potentially have 3 more if I baker twice more and then I could bake in round 14. So that would be 3 more. And then plow. So the only way for me to max out on boundary stones would be to get 4 more. The 6th and 7th are not worth anything. It's only the 8th field that's worth something. So too much work, not worth it to go for max boundary stones at this point. I needed the combo to be up way earlier for that to be an option. But yeah, fencing like 7 here is fine. Or fencing 7 down there. Actually, probably fencing 7 down there makes sense, because then if I want to do this field for an extra point, it is a point. Just to cover a space. Yeah, Field Watchman gets the 4 sheep and the 3 boar, which is nice. Strong actions. Oh, carpet. Very nice. Very nice. Getting 4 sheep round 13 into carpet. Pretty good. Start play carpet. To set up his round 14 plow sow for huge points. Very nice game by Field Watchman. So I really want to see some sort of plow from JJ. If he doesn't plow, then I think his game is a little too slow. Gray says you can play Bronze Oven for a bake action, but being able to hold more animals is probably more points than Max Boundary Stones. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's more of a theoretical maximum. Like it's nice to know that you have that option, but it's not like a serious option. So here's sleight of hand. Probably changing to. I would change to stone actually. Build another room. Especially with frame builder, he can do 4 reed, or he can do 3 reed to 3 stone, and then 3 stone, 2 reed, and a wood is a room. Which would be kind of fun. There's not really much that I need here. So I think fencing 7 is fine. So I definitely want to fence more next round. So I still want to get on Reno fence. Could fence 4 and build 2 stables. Maybe I build stables in the last round, but I'm pretty sure fencing again is going to be worth it because I don't really want Reno major. Reno fence is going to be the action that I want. And Bigfoot, it doesn't have the stone to Reno fence, so not yet anyways. He might debutante Reno fence. Fence 4, build 2 stables would be if I wanted to max boundary stones. Oh, I see. Yeah, sorry. Wasn't following. The fact that I can get a 2-point boar from Tarzan without an action, I think is worth just making space for animals for the rest of the game. I wonder if Bigfoot will debutante fence. If he has some kind of plow, that would be interesting. So looking at the humble farm boy, we've got 7 here. 7 played cards for JJ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 5 more. 5, 10, 11 more. 11, 4 more for Bigfoot, and I'm at 7 occupations, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14. So I'm at double JJ's played cards. Yeah. I would not be valuing Humble Farm Boy too highly when you're playing Draft 10. Just the quality of the cards is too high. Like, look at all the occupations that have been played. Like, really great cards. Frame Builder is not great, but in a combination with Bricklayer, sure. Should I have taken 2 wood before I fenced? I think that's what we're seeing right now, is that I should have done that. Clay, build a room. Probably not worth it. Taking a grain so that I can bake and get a bit more points. That's probably worth something. I should have one more person here. Okay. Take a grain. Take a grain is pretty bad. 2 stone and oven. Yeah. Yeah, and just not bake. It's points though. Yeah, 2 actions for 2 points. Yeah. And even if I don't build the oven here, a 2 stone into vegetable or whatever, and then I have the option that if I need to reno oven in the last round, then I still have point actions. Something like that looks fine. Oh, he does have Stonehouse extension. There it is. This is fun. It's too bad that he's not going to get to any fields, but this is fun from JJ. So then I can take a vegetable. The vegetable's not worth anything if I get a sow action though. So what else should I do? I think I don't want to take the 2 wood because there's a chance the 2 wood becomes 4 wood, and that's my only wood action next round. Then I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this up here. Bigfoot doesn't mind taking wood with his joinery. Take a grain, yeah, take a grain makes sense. And bake it with Baker. Get that field. But like, look at for how kind of slow I was in the middle part of the game. My game has just accelerated so much now that there's just not enough for me to do. I actually really want like a clay deposit or something that I can dump my actions into. Or a 24601 would be nice. Bigfoot plays trees for the citizens. So yeah, grain looks like the move here. No bake actually. Well, yeah, bake, sure. It might be one extra point. Yeah, because maybe now I build 2 stables up top instead of fencing 5. And then I could do 1 more field, which would be 1 more point. Gives me that option. Then I feed 10. So feed 10, and then I get a sheep from Whistle, and then a cattle from Tarzan. Oh, plus F loom as well. Alright, so Bigfoot wants the reno fence. Bigfoot also has debutante. I think I do this. No bake. Why do I get 2 sheep? Are you saying I should Tarzan 2 sheep? The sheep should breed. No, I'm pretty sure Whistle is the end of the breeding phase. Nope, sheep is beginning of the breeding phase. Yeah, so I breed them. You're right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I forgot that Whistle is start of the breeding phase. I thought it was like Tarzan. JJ plays Mansion. Oh, very nice. Okay, so who needs fields when you have a mansion? Very nice. So 12-point mansion plus 3 from Humble Farm Boy, 6-point stone house. Yeah, he's got a chance to win. Definitely. Definitely. So 2-point bronze oven. 1, 2, 3-point boundary stones. Runestone is it 1 point? Yes, 1 point. Loom is to be determined, but at the moment it's 2 points. I think it's okay to put 2 points on it. So 4 wood into stables looks like an okay option. Yeah, thanks, Gray. I forgot about that. Bigfoot might reno fence, so I could get fences. Yeah. Well, the other thing I'm thinking is I maybe my best actions are 4 wood and then sow bake and then stables. And the thing about sow bake is I actually could get another point. Like sow bake is like a 3-point move because I get more vegetables. I get more. It might actually be a 4-point move. Sow bake. So I'm wondering if I should do that ahead of taking wood. And the thing is, Bigfoot with his third move cannot take the 4 wood. So the only person likely to take the 4 wood is Field Watchman if he's going for a for some stables. But Field Watchman has also 2-point animal grabs available. So I think it's safe to sow bake with this move. Although no one else is going to sow bake. Alright, yeah, I can take the 4 wood, sure. Yeah, sow bake is safe, isn't it? You're right. Yep, you're right, Gray. No one else is sowing. So I could build 2 stables. 1 stable here, 1 stable here. It's 2 points, which is 1 less point than I would get from fencing 5. But it lets me get an extra point from plowing another field and actually plowing 2 more fields. I guess at that point the grain is not worth too much, except that baking the grain is nice because it gets me more the food for Tarzan, which I still need. Fencing is better than stables. Is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 2 points plus the third for the pasture. And it doesn't leave me room to bake or servant anymore. Don't I probably want a baker servant, don't I? I mean, I could take 3 wood and then fence. That's an option. So if I take 3 wood and then fence, I'm covering 5 here and then 3 there, but then I'm not able to whistle in the last round. But I still get to 4. I still get to 4, so it's probably fine. So how many points is this 3 wood here? I think sow bake is safe. Yeah. Yeah, 3 wood makes sense. 3 wood, fence, sow bake, or 3 wood. I could still do 3 stables. It's an option. So the appealing thing about baker servant is that it doesn't require an action. Like I already want to sow and I can then bake in the last round anyways. You make up the point for the extra field anyways. You do. You do. But I can't sow 4 goods. I guess I can't sow 4 goods if I bake anyways. I was thinking maybe about taking grain and then sowing as an option. Yeah, baking the grain ends up eating points as well, so. I really wish the stable was over here. Then I could whistle one more time. Yeah, loom only being worth 2 points. Yeah, I probably don't have enough points to win. I mean, I'm going to have a strong farm, but not going to be enough. Bigfoot plays. Start player Cottonfield. That's very nice. Very nice. So now he might sow. So. Oh, you know what? I'm a little short on food. I'm short on the food for Tarzan, so I'm gonna want to actually eat eat a point. So probably I'm eating a. I'm baking a grain. Yeah, baking a grain with Baker, and not plowing a field. So Field Watchman ends at 51. I think I'm hitting 50. I'm not sure totally. 12-point mansion certainly changed things. Certainly. What points did JJ leave himself with? Doesn't look like any. I guess he can take food. 4 food fishing, sure. Organic farmer. Okay. So should be a 3-point organic farmer. Because one pasture will hold 4, and then he can divide his boar up amongst his 2 big pastures in his house. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I harvest, bake a grain to get a boar, and by cattle I mean boar. And then O down here, and I can put my sheep over here, and I feed 10. So then I score whatever I have plus 8, it looks like. JJ hit 55, really nice. So 53, not enough to beat JJ. So 45, 3, 2, 2, 1. Very nice mansion. Well done. Oh, he ate a bunch of sheep. Okay. Yeah, so that's how he gets 4-point organic farmer. Cool. That is a 55-point farm right there. Humble farm boy plus organic farmer plus mansion. So he scored this plus 19. Yikes. Wow. That's a lot of bonus points. Nicely done by JJ. And Bigfoot hit 54. Wow. That's more than I expected. I guess 4 points here, 3 points trees of the citizens, and then 3 point or 4 point 5 point cloister dweller. Right, he hit the last 2 fields with cotton field. That was a huge action for him. Wow. So Bigfoot loses out because of the humble farm boy points that he gave away to JJ. So if Bigfoot had not played humble farm boy, then I would have had a very good chance to win, because that's 4 fewer wood for Bigfoot and 3 fewer points for JJ, and then I ended up second. I think we were 51, 55, 54, 53. So tight game. Very close, yeah. Yeah. Where can I get more points? Another room. The fact that I don't have 4 points on grain, that hurts definitely. And another 2 sheep is another 2 points. So yeah, there's a lot of points that I could get here. I was kind of lucky how JJ let family growth come to me, but obviously it worked out for him very nicely. Just played the slow game, run keeper the whole game, and then get mansion. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. That's going to be all for me. Hope you enjoyed this little video. I will probably stream maybe Thursday night, but if not Thursday, I'll stream on Friday or Saturday. Probably Saturday. So look for me then. If you're watching this on YouTube, give me a follow on Twitch so you can watch live, and you, like Gray and General Crix and Marska, can comment and ask questions and stuff. Also, join the Discord. I've been looking at trying to post in the Discord when I'm looking for games and looking to stream. So, you can join on there if you want to get into a game with me or ask me questions or whatever. Yeah. If you want to email me for any other reason, that would be kind of fun. I'd like people to start sending me draft pictures. So I've been playing Magic the Gathering Arena, and I've really enjoyed looking at draft discussions and having discussions about what cards to take in a draft there. I think we should start doing that for Agricola. So what I'd love is send me your boîte à jeu drafts, screenshot them, or screenshot your drafts on Play Agricola. Send me an email, Agricola Tourney, Agricola Tourney, Tourny, Tourny @gmail.com, and I'll pull them up when things are slow on the stream, and we can talk about them. That'd be kind of fun. So yeah, send me your interesting draft decisions, and we can debate. But yes. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed this little video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.